And more on Beijing and its influence here on U.S. soil. Two senators are working to oust the apparatuses of espionage with a new bill. Representatives Tom Tiffany and Lance Gooden want the Biden administration to close New York's China consulate and Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office and expel their employees from the U.S. entirely. It comes after the Justice Department recently arrested and charged two people for allegedly operating a secret police station in New York City on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party, as well as charging 40 Communist Party officers for harassing people living in the U.S. The lawmakers' move is not without precedent. The Trump administration in 2020 closed China's Houston, Texas consulate after FBI intelligence showed it was a hotbed of CCP spying. And a number of China hawks also say that the communist regime effectively uses their consulates as spy stations. Earlier today, I spoke with Representative Tiffany to learn more about his bill. Let's see that now. Representative Tom Tiffany, welcome to our show. Thanks so much for coming on.
Good to join you, Stephanie.
Now, together with Representative Lance Gooden, you've introduced a bill to expel China's consulate and Hong Kong's Economic and Trade Office from New York City. What exactly are you proposing, and why do you see this move as necessary?
Yeah, so the problem is that the Communist Chinese have set up these police stations around the world, including in New York City. And, this really hasn't gotten a lot of attention, but it's being done all over the world, including in the United States. And we found one that's in New York City, or I should say our intelligence agencies did. And so I believe the Biden administration should be closing that down. And that's what we are proposing, is that that consulate should be closed down. And those diplomats that were involved with it from the Communist Chinese government should be removed from the United States of America.
Why just New York City, but not other consulates?
I think it's perhaps commensurate with what they found in New York City. In other words, let's take care of the problem that has been identified. I mean, we saw it with the previous administration. They did it in Houston, Texas, when they emptied out the Communist Chinese consulate in Houston because they found them that they were spying. So let's start with New York City. But I hope our intelligence agencies are continuing to investigate this, because if we're seeing this pattern of behavior in other consulates or other police stations, other satellite operations, whatever you want to call them, around the country, if that's the case, then each one of them should be closed as we identify them as intimidating people here on United States soil or stealing our intellectual property.
Now, tensions are already high between the U.S. and China. Closing the Chinese consulate in New York City, some might say this is going too far and could be perceived by the Chinese Communist Party as an escalation or even provocation. What would you say to that?
So bullies are going to continue to step on your toes, and if you step backwards, then they're going to continue to do that. And we need to deal with this early on. Appeasement will not work. They are aggressors. We were seeing this around the world. Just commented earlier, Hong Kong, Uyghurs, Taiwan. You look at other things that are happening around the world. If we don't stand up now, if we just go with a policy of appeasement, they're going to get nothing but more aggressive. Deal with the bully right now.